Well, hello and welcome, my Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in twin flame relationships. Welcome to your September 2019 reading. I am your reader, Mark A. Lyons, Mal for short, Mark Angelo Lyons, the Mark Angel of Leo, that is me. Although I am a Virgo, I have Mars conjunct Leo rising. So I'm taking that title. Thank you very much. We're almost done with this series. I got Aquarius now, Pisces next, and then the September twin flame reads will be done, getting them out before my birthday. So I'm actually doing this on the last day of August. So when you get these done, edited, and out, it'll be a true blessing, at least on my end. Because I'm taking a little tiny vacay for my birthday, a couple of days off, going to Cherry Grove, maybe pop over to the Pines, and then I'm going to Brooklyn for the weekend. Gonna party down with my friends in Brooklyn. So very much looking forward to this reading. The blessing was lovely. We'll go through it. If you haven't watched any of the other ones, please do check out your other signs, because this is Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. If you don't know your Venus signs and all that, easy enough to find on the internet for free. You just need your birth date, your birth time, your birth location. If you don't know the birth time, there's always a little fudging you can do there. And if you really need a good astrologer, drop me a line. I've got a brilliant one, Michelle Astro. Obviously, her last name is not Astro, but that's her public name as an astrologer. We'll be glad to connect you with her. So we're doing this one a little bit differently than we did last month. It seems like my guides, angels, gods, and masters change it up every time to keep me flexible, to keep me growing, that it keeps getting better. My prayer when I bless the decks, because I shuffle and bless the decks individually and collectively, for the collective, that it be for the well-being of all, that it be truly helpful, all of that. But we've added more decks. I'm reading one card from each deck in 3 lines. The first line horizontally will be for you, my Aquarians. The second line will be for the twin in the twin flame relationship. The third will be for the relationship itself in overview. So we're looking at 24 cards in total, unless others pop out, which happens. Rarely, but it happens. So we're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype cards, one for each. Even though we're going to have 3 lines horizontally, we're going to start building those lines vertically. Please, if you have not yet, go check the video that I did clarifying twin flames, soulmates, and true lovers. I keep saying that because the definitions that I am using for twin flame is that they are turbulent, sacred, pre-incarnational contracts that are turbulent. They are turbulent, tricky, tumultuous, transformative, and like a crucible, these relationships teach you how to transform yourself, how to love yourself, how to heal yourself, how to set boundaries, self-esteem, self-acceptance, self-approval, all that stuff that the other person can't give you by contract. They can give you, they're not supposed to, and even when they try, it doesn't work out well, right? That these are the trickiest, in my opinion, of the relationship contracts and structures on the path of true love. So on the path of true love, which we don't know the end destination, maybe that's enlightenment, maybe that's fully embodying 5th dimensional consciousness, being an embodiment of true love. Well, how are you going to do that unless you have turbulent, transformative, tricky relationships to teach you how to give yourself what no one else really can? Soulmates are satisfying. You help each other heal. Twin flames, you teach each other. You redirect each other back into yourselves to heal yourself, to love yourself, etc. So that's the definition I'm working with. Go watch the video. There's some reference points in there. But for now, let's get down to business. I already said my prayers. My guides, my masters, my angels are ready, so let's do this. We're going to start the reading with an archetype card for you, my Aquarians. So here we go. My collective pantheon of angels, gods, and masters, please, can you give us an archetype card for the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this twin flame relationship for September 2019? What is the dominant archetype within them that they are working with, the piece of the contract that they are fulfilling, healing, learning, growing through, for the well-being of all? Please, a piece of your collective angelic, godly, and masterful grace. The Damsel archetype, one I am personally familiar with. It's in my second wheel, my Kairos wheel. connected to the goddess Persephone and the victim, victimizer, victor archetype. Very interesting. First time that card has come up, at least in these twin flames, I think. Maybe it's come up before. It's just a very, very powerful card in and of itself. Divine feminine family for sure. But let's get one for the twin, because anything in relationship to the damsel or the twin is going to be interesting. Plus, damsels are pretty much a mythological classic going all the way back to the beginning of storytelling mythology. Still, there are damsels in distress, but what happens when the damsel empowers herself? There are a lot of those stories and movies, etc., but I always think of Ever After with Drew Barrymore. Like, there was that light attribute. We'll get to it. I'll read all of what's written on those cards as I get once I get all three of them out. My pantheon of angels, gods, and masters, please, the same for the twin in this Aquarius moon, collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, twin flame relationship, please. Same thing, the archetype for this twin, the trickster, the damsel and a trickster. Now, I don't know that damsels enjoy tricksters, particularly if the trick is being played on them. Just saying, but the light and the shadow of that. Light's a lot of fun, the shadow's really tricky. Trickster would be. So you're looking at Hermes, Loki, you know, the trickster gods, Coyote. Yeah, that's some heavy archetype mysticism there. So please, my pantheon of angels, gods, and masters, one more for the overriding relationship. The relationship itself, as though it's the third person in this relationship. The relationship itself, you have the Aquarian, you have the twin, and then you have the relationship. So please, one card in overview. What is the dominant archetype being developed, alchemized from lead to gold in this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign collective twin flame relationship for September 2019? The hedonist. Well, at least you'll have fun, hopefully, in the process. I love the hedonist. I have that Chronos, lifelong House of Virgo. Dionysus. Dionysus with his thrices slaps you on the head. So, Aquarius, you've got the damsel. The damsel, as I said, the lighting, I'm still figuring out and tinkering with the lighting in my home here. The damsel archetype in its light. Now, this is written really light, so I have to kind of make grandpa eyes while I do this. Understands the nature of healthy romance. Inspires you to rely on yourself. Very good, rely on yourself instead of maybe relying on the trickster for what you need, right, in its light. Understanding of what healthy romance is. That can be something written in your heart. It's like, well, I've never had it, but I kind of understand what it is, that it's mutual. That, well, and like in that movie Ever After, sorry if you haven't seen it yet, it came out a really long time ago, that she rescued herself, and she sort of rescued him too, the prince. The shadow attribute. Oh, well, isn't that just Pretty Woman at the end of the last scene of Pretty Woman? Wow, on the fire escape. Cinderella, damsel. Shadow attribute. Waiting for a knight to provide for you. Seduction by romantic illusions. Oh, and they're going to put me in a castle. See, damsels get rescued by knights, K-N-I-G-H-T, me or otherwise. Princesses get taken by princes, right, and live in palaces. The archetypal structure is very, very different, yet you can have the damsel princess in an alchemical mix. But this is talking specifically about the damsel in relationship, my Aquarians, to the trickster archetype, light attribute, transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. I got a nice touch of that. It's not dominant, but it comes and goes. That's my Hermes archetype. Shadow attribute, manipulating others through duplicity. So there's some lying going on here. There's some sleight of hand, some emotional, mental prestidigitation. Here, look over here. And yeah, some distraction. I can feel that in there. I mean, trickster gods are fun until they're not, right? Just how that rolls. Oh, the alchemy on that one's tricky. The relationship itself, the hedonist. So there's something very pleasurable, sensual, delicious about this relationship, which, you know, is a hedonist relationship parent-child? I don't think so. So already with the damsel, that romance there, that trickster with the damsel and the hedonist in the relationship itself, the relationship itself being somewhat hedonistic, I think we're looking at a romantic sexual one here right off the bat. Can't be totally sure. We're going to see what other cards hit the table. The light attribute. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. So once again, there's that redirection back into the self, to celebrate the beauty within yourself. That's a big part of this relationship overall. Very good for a twin flame. Shadow attributes: pursues pleasures to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. So I think the light and the shadow, the gold and the lead, are pretty clearly defined for that in the relationship as general. So it sort of makes sense if I hold them up right next to each other, right? That you've got this damsel in a twin flame, turbulent, transformative, alchemical relationship with a trickster, but the whole thing is very hedonistic. What are the chances? There are some duplicity here and some romantic illusions that need to be purified, that need to be transformed, need to be brought to light, because there are chains probably around both of you, metaphorically speaking, and if literally, hey, whatever gets you through the weekend. Let's clarify these with some guidance and grace from the angels. Just give me a moment to tune. My angels, there you are. Please, one card in clarity for this Aquarius collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in twin flame relationship. This damsel, please, a piece of your angelic guidance and grace to clarify for this damsel. Intention. It's saying intention. Clarify what it is you want, and more importantly, why you want it. Yeah, everybody wants partnership. Everybody wants to have fun. Everybody wants romance. Everybody wants to be kissed. Everybody wants to be touched, except some people. And that's fine too. But the why is more important, because they want them to rescue me. Now, you might not even be honest with yourself that that's what you want, but know that it's in there in the damsel, to have someone provide for you rather than provide for yourself. And that need not always be about money. That can be about someone providing constant approval and acceptance. But ultimately, we have to give that to ourselves. Otherwise, it's vampiric. It's parasitic. It is codependent as it gets, because it's just a sugar high, whatever they give you, particularly in twin flame relationships. Been there, done that, have the burnt t-shirt. For the trickster then, my angels, please, same thing. A card of your angelic guidance and grace for the trickster archetype in this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for September 2019. Well, listening. That's nice. A trickster who listens. Although, what are they listening to? Are they listening for clues of ways to trick? Or what this card is really about in the Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angel Oracles is about that you're being heard by the angels. The angels hear you and hear them listening. Listen, 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 listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to the truth. Listen, listen, listen to the guidance and the grace, my trickster. Because if you're really oriented to, the well-being of all, if you're the cross watcher here, then just know that if you're listening in order to manipulate through duplicity, then that's what you got to deal with. That's what the person's got to clean up here. That's part of what needs to be put in the crucible and transform there. But if it's about listening in order to transcend convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior, to listen in a new way, to listen to hear things, to catch the trick that other people might not hear. But let's also be clear, that's also about listening to your better angels, right? Listening to the higher self, the true self, rather than the ego wanting to pull tricks and deceive, right? Manipulate. My angel, same thing for this hedonist, for the relationship in general, please. A piece of your angelic guidance of grace to clarify this overall Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for September 2019. Forgiveness. This relationship is about forgiveness. Yep, the F word has arrived. Now, to me, there is a hedonistic part of forgiveness if you're practicing quantum forgiveness, right? True forgiveness, the kind that Course in Miracles points to, about understanding the quantum, and that as I forgive you, I forgive myself. As I forgive myself, I forgive the collective. Forgiveness is, well, it's about overlooking, not overlooking, condoning what has gone on, but looking past it into the pain that certainly must have caused it. No one who is in a balanced, healthy, well-being, loving, heart open, mind open space, tricks and deceives, or needs and compromises in order to get someone to take care of them unless there's in some pain. So Course in Miracles kind of sort of says that forgiveness is about overlooking what the person did temporarily, looking to the pain that they were in and seeing past the pain into the soul, into the true self of the person, where we are ultimately all one. And I'm finding that twin flame relationships are fast tracks to embodying and living in fifth dimensional unity consciousness, the awareness of the oneness of all that is. Because why in the world would you manipulate someone that you know you're one with? It's just manipulating yourself. So forgiveness there is a big chain breaker. And with the hedonist there, right, it's like that this can become an unbridled thing, a thing of freedom, where there is something to celebrate. There is something beautiful in it. And it reveals the soul beauty, the true beauty within ourselves and each other. Right, that resonance, soul resonance. Maka! Sorry, I just got a soul eater flash. I love me some anime. Let's go in now with the gods. The goddess that I am working with in Aquarius. There are two that share the throne of Aquarius. One is Athena, the other is Heracles. Heracles has not showed up in a while. I think I'm really in an Athena phase in my life. Goddess of wisdom. That's why I'm wearing the Wonder Woman for her, because she is one of the goddesses of the Wonder Woman pantheon for her. I love Athena. Oh, no, this is the Athena ring. It's actually a Medusa ring, right? Because she's the one who turned Medusa into a Gorgon. Yeah, it's not a great story politically, just saying. But Athena has been very good to me, and I love her very much, and I trust her. Sky goddess, Aquarian, stratospheric, we're all one, fifth dimensional take on stuff. What a strategist, right? So, my gods, my goddess, my Athena, my sister, please, one card in clarity. I feel you. One card of clarity for this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in twin flame relationship for September 2019. We got a Damsel, clarifying intention. Please, a piece of your goddess guidance and grace for the well-being of all. Compassion, right? Six of Cups. We often think of nostalgia, but I love what Fiona Morgan does with the Daughters of the Moon. Her reinterpretations go so much deeper in so many ways. So yes, this is a little bit tribal, right? We've got some women laying hands upon someone in need of it. But if you look there, even, I'll get this closer, look at the waves. Look, it's Katrina in the waves, right? You see the faces of the I guess it's the Nereids, right? The water spirits there. The element of water here, compassion. An issue here, self-healing, compassion for the self. I get the connection with Six of Cups because it's a balance. If you get the balance that everybody is doing the best that they can, considering their wounds, their emotional baggage, what they've been through, what they know, their level of awareness, like someone who's incarnating fifth dimensional consciousness in a relationship with someone who will not release the third dimensional illusion of separation, there's compassion due there on all sides, but it is often the one aligning with unity consciousness, open divine feminine heart, open divine masculine mind, that has to do a lot of the work for this stage, right? If you woke up first, compassion for yourself, fill your own cup and give of the overflow, because you're doing the best that you can. All of us are, and none of us are so powerful that we can fuck up the divine plan. It self-corrects, right? The gods are in charge. Really getting that from Athena. So Athena, my goddess, please, the same thing for the trickster. In this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame relationship for September 2019, we've got this trickster here with listening. Please, a piece of clarity, your goddess guidance and grace. A piece, please. And this one, strength. Okay, our first major arcana card, strength. Now, this is obviously not about physical strength. This is about courage. This is about the ability fortitude, the grace of fortitude, the grace of the heart chakra. Yes, there's a Leo energy indicated here. Of course, there's a lion in it. But what I'm getting off this card for right now, and once the third one comes out, that will absolutely clarify for this vertical line here, that this is about following the heart, coming from the heart, to be loving, to listen to the strength of the heart, the dictates of the heart, where the trickster can be extremely mental. Yeah, okay, one more. My Athena, please, one card. A piece of your goddess guidance and grace for this twin flame relationship, this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for September 2019. Please, a clue, a tip, a hint, a piece of your Athena goddess guidance and grace. Burnout. Burnout. Now, burnout will, well, let me clarify this now, since this is the last of the Daughters of the Moon down. Burnout has a couple of different meanings to me, where one is, of course, through overcommitment, we expend all of our fuel, we burn out, right? Comes from saying no when you're supposed to say yes, right? Or saying yes when you're supposed to say no. Someone says, come on, do this, and your soul is saying, no, 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 and you say, sure. Damsel, sure, I'll do whatever you want. Or sure, says the trickster, knowing that there is a hidden agenda there. Burns you out every single time. The other part of that is similar to the death card, in that, particularly in this deck, the death card is the phoenix. So burnout is what sends you to ash, so that you can rise from them as the phoenix. And with forgiveness as your mode of alchemy, as the fire element of the alchemy in this relationship, both of you might very well be overcommitted, burned out, tired. And keep in mind, this is the 8 of flames. Now, the 8 of flames, you usually think of the 8 of wands as those wands kind of soaring through the air, which also says give some time here. Give some time. Things may be moving fast. You may be burning out. But also know that ash is good fertilizer. It's so funny, the same with the card Pele, the volcano in this deck, that though a forest may burn down, reduced to ash in time, ash is fertilizer in its way, right? Out of that can come a brand new forest. So we've got compassion, strength, and the 8 of cups. So just to even put these next to each other here, 1, 2, 3, right? So we've got, where did you go? Here, we've got you, Aquarius, in this place of compassion. You might very well feel very much for this twin that you're dealing with, but make sure that compassion is balanced, right? It's a 6, that you're giving yourself as much compassion as you can, to a point where it really allows you to relax, to de-stress, to help the nervous system cope with all of this while you figure out what your intentions are. Because if your intention is to be compassionate with yourself or others, it's pretty much a winning ticket, but it's not easy, right? And that really for the trickster to be listening to their heart, it might be a brand new trick for them, right? Like to act, to come from this place of heart-centeredness, of warmth, of courage, of strength, rather than resulting to manipulation and duplicity. Yet the relationship itself is being transformed by fire. But in 8, it's something that is moving forward, but it's a lot. There's a lot going on there, and certainly any ashes of this temporary, because it's a minor arcana card. This is a phase you're going through probably for a good chunk of the month of September, that something new will rise from that, that it's sometimes just part of the process at an 8, right? You got 2 more to go to make 10. Let's clarify with the masters. Okay, and I've been saying that it really feels like every time I tune to the masters in these twin flame relationships, it's like I'm getting the legal division, right? The contract lawyers of the sacred contracts of twin flames in particular, right? So I ask the masters, please, my masters, can you please give us a piece of your guidance and grace for this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in twin flame relationship for September 2019? What are they dealing with? Well, delight. You know, delight, it does not indicate heavy, it is delight. Yay! Because groove is in the heart. Yeah, interesting that there is delight that comes to you from this compassion. If your intention is really focused on let's be balanced, it's interesting because Nine of Pentacles is that thing of like balance financially, the balance give and take. This feels like the balanced give and take of compassion and emotion, and it gives you great delight to do so because when you are compassionate to others, it's just like forgiveness in that sense. By the way, the Dalai Lama in Buddhism talks a lot about compassion, so we'll see if that comes out in the clarifying deck for the Masters in our second to last run here. So something to consider, that compassion has to come through you. That when dealing with compassion, I was taught by an Ashaya monk, oh my God, 20 years ago, maybe a little less, that compassion has to be balanced between selfish and selfless, that when you are too selfishly compassionate, that cuts everybody out, becomes really narcissistic, you end up alone, right? The independence in a really toxic way. When you are selflessly compassionate, pouring out your cup to everybody, you end up bitter, right? And burnt out, when's it my turn? And envy and jealousy can rise from that as you've poured out your last drop and then everybody's gone. We all experience that at some point just in life, regardless in twin flame relationships. So the trick is to fill your own cup, pour a little bit out, fill it up a little, pour it out, until you get to that middle place where that cup is always being refilled. So there's always an overflow, so you never burn out. That is the balance of compassion, Six of Cups, just saying. So there's a delight with that, right? That this card of delight, that it's uplifting. You know, I give it a shot. Compassion. It takes practice, though. That's right, really. The Dalai Lama, Tibetan Buddhism, wherever you find it, you might want to look at it first more Eastern than Western because it would be different. And Aquarians do like the different and the new and the somewhat rebellious, right? Like breaking out of the cultural Western definition and experience of compassion. So my masters, please, the same thing for the twin in this twin flame relationship with the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Here we've got the trickster listening for who knows what at this point, and yet challenged with that card of strength to come from their heart, to be heart-centered. So please, we'll just see if that one pops up. Please, my masters, a piece of your masterly guidance and grace for the twin in this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for September 2019. Receiving, well, they're on the take, but you know, there's something about receiving love from somebody that is an act of love in itself. There's a Whisper of Love card that speaks directly to that. We'll see if that pops up. So, you know, receiving, though, my masters are chiming in here saying that usually we think of receiving as being the feminine energy, and it's true, but you got to take it out of gender. Can this trickster receive? Can they open their heart enough to receive, for instance, the healing available to themselves? Because Aquarius, you might be pouring out the compassion, but they might not be having it, right? That they might be enduring something very intense that they're trying to listen to, or they are just not listening at all. So will they receive? We shall see. That's why we have clarifiers coming. So my masters, for this last line, this third line for the Aquarian relationship itself, please, a piece of your masterful guidance and grace for this overall Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and twin flame relationship for September 2019. Wild Abandon goes really, 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 really well with the Hedonist card, wouldn't you say? There we go. All right. Now, that burnout makes a little bit more sense now. It feels like the burnout's going to come. The burnout's going to come because of the wild abandon with the hedonist, but then the forgiveness, which is the alchemical ingredient that turns lead to gold here. So it might be that there are some old patterns being burned out here, that there are some old behaviors, some old 3D illusion of separation fears and limitations that free you. There is something very freeing about that, particularly with that card of delight. So for Aquarians, you got this delight with compassion and intention as a damsel, right? All about empowering yourself, right? Inspires you to rely on yourself. So to give compassion to yourself, again, perfect for a twin flame relationship, where we've got this card of receiving, where not only is a gift given, a gift is received, right? So will they receive? Maybe that gift is from you. Maybe that grace is from you. But it feels like the gods are at work at this one with that major arcana card, right? That there's a courage test. By the way, I think Carolyn May said it originally. She goes, there's no workshop for courage, right? There's no potion, well, liquid courage, right? Alcohol. But that wears off, right? It's something that the only way to develop courage, particularly in the strength card, is to call upon a strength beyond this world, right? A love beyond this world, the divine. That's why it's a major arcana card. Yeah. Well, and really the hedonist with wild abandon, burnout, and forgiveness. That, yeah, perhaps you guys have painted the town red and burned it down. But that there is a huge opportunity for the miracle of forgiveness here, but must begin within yourselves first. You're not going to really be able to extend forgiveness to the other if you are in your own chains of guilt. Just how it rolls, right? Okay, let's get our clarifiers here. I am using the Cosmic Deck of Initiation, blessed by the angels at the same time as I blessed the Doreen Virtue cards. These are really wonderful. I'm liking them a lot. May use them with my clients more. We'll see. So my angels, please clarify this card of intention. Right, so there's your card of intention. What do I want? Why do I want it? You know, my intention. What do I intend? I intend with every breath I take to heal that which rises within me. Every time I blink my eyes, consciously or unconsciously, may I bless my heart and bless all hearts. That's setting an intention into the world. Well, my morning intention, really, I start the day with, today may I be more loving, wise, and powerful than I have ever been. So that's the incremental. Oh, Kitty's found kitty toys upstairs with bells in them. A lot of feline angels just got their wings. So my angels, please, one card in clarity for this Aquarius collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this twin flame relationship for September 2019. There you are. Universal truth. Okay, so really good for that that manipulating others through duplicity dealio going on. That if your intention here is not just what the fuck's going on, I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Well, maybe you can handle the truth if you can really deal with that compassion and give yourself compassion and cry when you need to cry and yell when you need to yell, but to keep it behind the castle walls, not to repress it, but not to explode and lacerate people or guilt them, right? To get the universal truth that we're all one, that everybody's doing the best that they can. Universal truth is a really good divine masculine way, divine mind way of getting into compassion. Show me the truth in this situation. Oh, well, what's true is that they did this, 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 and this, and you've done this, 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 and this. That's true in the third, fourth dimension, but the truth is that this is part of the divine plan, and you are souls that incarnated to play the roles of the people you are in this world, in this relationship you agreed to, you signed off on before you came into this life. Oh, okay. So what do I have to do? Have compassion. Well, you know, I may have manipulated. Well, you know, damsels can be wicked manipulated too. Oh, please rescue me. Well, they can sure as hell rescue themselves. But to say, okay, well, I haven't manipulated the way they did. I haven't been duplicitous the way they have, but I've done that. We've all done that. And why do we do that? For survival, because we're afraid. So let's go in a little bit here. My angels, please, same thing for the twin in this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for September 2019. Please clarify this card of listening. What are they listening to? Or who or what is listening to them? Oh, Aries. Didn't just charge out of the deck. Now, Aries, to say that maybe they're listening to an Aries, you know, it wouldn't be the god Aries because it doesn't have an I in it. The god, the Greek god Aries of war, brother of Athena's, Ares. So Aries, look, there may be an Aries placement in this person's chart, or maybe they are listening to someone who is perhaps a little cardinal fire masculine energy. Hey, what the fuck? You don't let her do that to you? An instigator. Be careful who you are listening to. That would definitely be the shadow side of that. The light side of it would really be, well, let me listen to myself, not necessarily the ego, but that drive within me. Let me listen, or let me set aside what everybody else is saying and listen to what? The strength of my heart. That there is a certain selfishness that has to go down in twin flame relationships, but it's not ego selfishness, it's, I love this term, higher selfishness. Now you're kind of doing that same for yourself, Aquarian, here with this Six of Cups compassion. So they're kind of doing it in a different way, getting stronger, becoming more courageous, more bold, but yet bold enough, strong enough to receive. Like, you know what it's like when you first fall in love and you just can't take it? Like, what does that mean? I can't take it. I can't take it. It means I can't take it in. I can't receive it. It's overload, which of course would lead to burnout. So my angels, will you please clarify this card of forgiveness for the overall Aquarius collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, this twin flame relationship? Please clarify, what is this card of forgiveness about, my angels? A piece of your guidance and grace. Oh, universal spirituality. There we go. So we've got universal truth for you, Aquarius. We've got the Aries card for the trickster twin. It's a fun way to say it. But universal spirituality. Call upon the universe. Universe, I don't know how to forgive this. I accept I do not know how to forgive this, so I call upon the spirit of the universe, the universal truth, to help me forgive this, to forgive it for me and through me, so it'll look like I'm making the choices and decisions, but we all know inside that that you did this through me, you did this for me, for the well-being of all that I am now, and so it is. Yeah, look, all relationship lessons are about forgiveness at the end of the day, but you've got to get the universal quantum aspect of it. It's not about condoning what they did. It's about understanding they were possessed by their pain, possessed by shadow. Go have a look at Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now, although he talks about possession by the pain body quite a bit, tons on YouTube. Like if you go to YouTube and you just, well, you're already on it if you're watching me. Unless you're watching me on Vimeo, I post all these to Vimeo as well. A lot of cool stuff on Vimeo there in my account. But he does talk a lot about, he even says, and I believe it's The Power of Now, and I'm paraphrasing, he says, well, if someone's possessed by pain and they murder somebody, and then later they snap out of it, did they really murder the person? He says, no, they are possessed by pain, and that pain can absolutely be in the collective. Just saying, you don't got to agree. I'm just saying, go have a look. Go have a look as we now bring in the Dream deck, blessed by the gods at the same time as the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. This is a Jungian Freudian dream analysis deck. I don't really use it for those purposes. It was sitting in a drawer untouched for a really long time. I think my mom gave this to me as a gift, a birthday gift or a Christmas gift or something. And the gods are like, pull that thing out. We're using it. I'm like, okay. So they actually are quite wonderful, even though the words written on the back of it may apply more to, at least in the written word, about dream analysis. It's sort of saying like, look at what's going on in the dream of your life right now. But of course, if it applies to your nocturnal experiences in the dream time, take that in as well, Aquarius. So here we go. Athena, you who sits in the throne of Aquarius, who has the eagle eye view, the eagle eye vision, as my cards flip all over the place. Let's try that again. Athena, please, a piece of your goddess guidance and grace for the Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this twin flame relationship for September 2019. Please clarify the Six of Cups compassion. Please, please, please. And who do we got here? School! You're learning, right? You gotta go back to school. Yes, I just quoted a song from Greece too. So school experiences are among the most formative in life. They leave a deep imprint on our subconscious and provide a rich vocabulary of dream symbols. School dreams can explore themes as diverse as relationship with figures of authority, usually embodied in the dream as a teacher. Yearning for public esteem or, yearning for public esteem. That's interesting. Instead of self-esteem, public esteem. Yearning for public esteem or approval, Damsel. And feelings of nostalgia, not Six of Cups. That's funny, and that really makes sense. Is there any issue troubling you in your waking life which might have given rise to your dream? For example, is someone or something making you feel inadequate? Or could there be an aspect of your past that you are still actively longing for now? That's a heavy-duty one. To have compassion for yourself, to have compassion that you lived through. By the way, you lived through it. Whatever happened in the past, you lived through it. Give yourself some time, that love, that compassion, that it's okay, sweetheart. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for surviving this. I love you. You're amazing. I approve of you. I accept you. You don't have to prove anything to me. I say that to the little Mark inside. I call him Kid, right? I'm like, Kid, it doesn't matter what you do. I'm here for you. I'm not here to heal you. I'm not here to transform you. I'm here to love you. And thank you. I honor you. You have been through so much. You have learned so much. And let us not just forget the basic symbolism of school, that you are being taught compassion in this twin flame relationship. Practice it with yourself. Really, to have compassion for the other is what triggers the miracle of forgiveness. And by the way, go check out A Course in Miracles. There are plenty of teachers. If the big book is too much for you, Lord knows it was for me. Well, I had a copy of hardcover, first edition, A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. I know she's running for president. I don't know by the time you watch this if she still is. I believe she's still in the race at this point. What is it, July 31st? But we'll see. But I've met her twice at book signing. She's this tall, incredibly powerful, very dynamic, really fun too. Funny. She's got a great sense of humor. But that's why I really got hooked on A Course in Miracles. I used to listen to her on audio cassette. Now, millennials, you might want to Google what an audio cassette is. Athena, please, a card, a piece of your guidance, your goddess guidance and grace. That's hard to say today. For the twin, the trickster in this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for September 2019. A dream card, please. Ooh, the serpent. Serpent came up in the last reading as well. That I believe was Capricorn. The serpent with strength. Now, it's not what you think. I fucking hate snakes. I was chased by water moccasin when I was a child. My grandmother pulled me out of the water last second before it bit me. Really, I don't like snakes. I see them on TV, my legs come up on the couch, just how it rolls. But this card is not about that necessarily, and it's even explained. Ready? Serpent. Different interpretations of the serpent abound throughout the world, making its meaning difficult to explain in dreams. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, the serpent is seen as a source of evil whose appearance in dreams signifies foreboding. Now, by the way, there's a touch of that there with the manipulating others and duplicity, like the snake in the Garden of Eden. Just saying, yeah, have the apple, ain't nothing gonna happen. Watch Good Omens, by the way. Crawley. Right, in Judeo tradition, the serpent in dreams signifies foreboding. Some cultures view the serpent as a symbol of psychic energy, like the kundalini, the coiled serpent in the spine that uncurls during your activation, ascension, awakening process. The intuitive wisdom of the unconscious, right? So there's some strength here, perhaps in intuition activating, getting stronger. In others, it heralds healing and new life, right? You look at the caduceus. It's an ancient chakra system for the West. It was Greek, I'm pretty sure, the caduceus. One snake going up, one snake going down. The ball and the wings. It's the Ida, the Pingala, the Sushumna. The yoga people know what I'm talking about. Consider your dream response to the serpent. Does this provide a clue to the meaning of the sign? What the clue here for this is that though there may be a balance here, that they really are having an awakening here, that there's a renewal, there's a shedding of the skin, there's a wisdom, there's an energy part of this, that maybe they are being repatterned. You know, you don't want to put 10,000 volts through a 9-volt battery, right? You have to upgrade the battery, so to speak. So there might be a little death and rebirth stuff going on here. The snake, particularly now, they're really giving me the serpent and the snake, particularly in shamanic traditions. Oh my God, I'm trying to target South America, the Pacific Southwest, that whole area, that the serpent. Well, there are lots of snakes down there. That would make sense. But as particularly like the Ouroboros swallowing its own tail, which is Norse. So there's all sorts of symbolism there that for this trickster twin in this twin flame relationship, it's about they're really being activated. There's almost like a death and rebirth of their own heart here, a shedding of skin, perhaps a dropping away of that manipulation and duplicity, because the only reason people really manipulate or are duplicitous is because they don't believe they have it in them to do it any other way, that they're not good enough, so they have to lie and cheat and steal. Why do people lie? Because they think if you saw them for who they really were, you would recoil in horror, when in truth, if they really revealed who they truly were, you would have compassion and love for them, warts and all, wounds and all. And that's really your thing. So you're developing compassion here, regardless of what's going on with this trickster, my Aquarian damsel. And remember, the damsel is not about being a female or a male. It's an archetype, a romantic-based archetype. Let's get this last one down for this card of burnout, this 8 of Flames, please, Athena. I just crossed my legs. She's a virgin goddess. I love her. Athena, please, one card. A piece of your goddess guidance and grace. For this Aquarian twin flame relationship, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, for September 2019. Throw your spear. Give us some clarity here. Yeah, this came up in the last one too. Revealing hidden love. Revealing hidden love. So perhaps there's a little sneaky peeky going on here, something going on behind the scenes in the shadow. If this is a weird one, this is really giving specific instructions about dream stuff, but I think it helps. If you hold feelings for someone but are unsure about how to approach the object of your affection, ask your dreams for help. Hold the image of your loved one in your mind as you drift into sleep. When you wake in the morning, search your dreams for signs of the person. They may not have appeared in literal physical form, but symbolically. For example, think about what color you associate with this person. Did this color appear in your dream? How did your dream self feel when encountering symbols of your love? Warm or cold? Brave or fearful? Yeah, I think that little flicker of the light there tells us that this is about courage, right? Brave or fearful. What the card of strength there for the trickster. What might your dreams be trying to tell you about revealing your feelings of your love? That because this is being, now look, I get that there is some surreptitious stuff going on here with that wild abandon and that hedonist, that there's stuff absolutely that needs to be forgiven here. Because there's a hidden love that is getting stronger and sort of burning you both alive, but isn't that what twin flames do? So it feels like either one of you or neither of you are actually ready to say the I love you words, and that's fine, because that is going to turn up the heat in this relationship where it feels like you're going through so much individually right now, but I can't take my eye off them, this wild abandon, that the sex is probably off the scale. But can you abandon wildly? What holds you back? Now, maybe you're both burnt out and exhausted from life in general, or this relationship has just really transformed so much, but that something is going to be revealed here eventually, and hopefully unto yourselves. Now, what decisions you make once that is revealed, once those words are out there, it is an alchemical moment. Those 3 words change everything or change nothing, depending upon how you hear it or how you say it, the intention behind it, my Aquarians. Thank you, my goddess Athena. It's very Saint Seiya, Netflix. So let's clarify these cards from the Masters. We've got Delight, Receiving, and Wild Abandon, and the clarifiers will be the Osho Neo Tarot. Now, I've said it each time. I might as well do it for these last 2. It is not a traditional tarot deck. It does not have a major arcana, a minor arcana, or a court card system. These are cards of wisdom, spirituality, some mystical stuff in there from cultures around the world based on the teachings of Osho. Osho was originally named the Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh. So if you got issues with that, just take what resonates, walk away from the rest, because apparently he was a controversial character. Someone gave me this deck in my 20s. I only used it for personal direction, so using it in readings, particularly because it was blessed at the same time as the Chuck Spezzano cards for the Masters. There are a lot of Ascended Masters in this deck, but really more, not so much in the updated idea of what an Ascended Master is, like Buddha. Of course Buddha's an Ascended Master. Right, buddy? My buddy Buddha. He's so chill, but he would be. All right. So my Masters, please, can you clarify this card of delight? Right, just so that you see it. We're clarifying the card of delight. There are other songs by Delight for Groove in the Heart. I used to have the album. I just don't remember what they are at the moment. So my angels, please clarify a piece of your masterful guidance and grace for this Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this twin flame relationship for September 2019. Please, a piece of your guidance and grace about delight. This card keeps coming up. Come, come, yet again come. It is from a Rumi poem. We will clarify that once I get all three of them out. It's a very, very powerful, loving, loving, loving card. And really about all of us, not just about another person. I'll read that. There's a little booklet that has a little italicized tiny paragraph at the beginning of each one, giving essentially the thumbnail sketch of what's going on, and then it goes into the story. A really good deck. I don't even know if it still exists. I believe it's out of print. I didn't even look at the copyright date on it. I should see how long ago I got that, right? So let's look at this twin in this with this card of receiving. My Masters, please, one card of clarity, a piece of your collective guidance and grace as Masters for the twin in this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for September 2019. Please, what's going on with receiving as you toss it across the table? It's only one. I will take it. Disciplehood. It's weird. The same like 5 or 6 cards keep coming up no matter how many times I shuffle, but this is the message they want to get across. Disciplehood. Disciplehood, which is about discipline and seeing everyone and everything as your teacher. Both the thief with the mask on, the dog with its reflection in the water, and the child. I will read, I think, a part of that. But that receiving, you are my teacher. I am being taught. Everything is a teacher here. I am learning courage while you, my Aquarians, are learning compassion. So courage and compassion, what a force to help heal the world embodied within yourself and in this relationship for the well-being of all. That's pretty frickin' tricky, turbulent, transformative, but of service to a higher vision. And Aquarians, don't you just love a higher vision? The big picture. All right, my Masters. Yeah, the Wild Abandon, right? That's the one we're clarifying here, the Wild Abandon card. In case you forgot what it looked like, you know, I have to say it's very much the Go-Go's Our Lips Are Sealed for me. They should call it the Our Lips Are Sealed card. At least Jane got to swim. They left her in the car, but, you know, then they all went dancing in the fountain. I want to go dance in that fountain if it's not completely toxic. My Masters, they suck. They allow me to make my Go-Go's references in there. My Masters, please, one card to clarify this Wild Abandon. Please, one card for this Aquarius collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and twin flame relationship. The twin flame relationship itself, please clarify a piece of your masterful guidance and grace for this card clarifying Wild Abandon for this twin flame relationship, September 2019. Imitation. Ooh, I know this story, so at least we got a new one that hasn't come up yet. Yeah, another one with something cut off. The last reading had a hand cut off. This one's got a finger cut off. Because if you look, I'll just keep flashing this back and forth. You see how the master is pointing up and the student, the disciple, is pointing up. It's like, knock it off. Don't intimidate me. Find your own way. Chops his finger off. But let me give you the more classical on this. We're going to start with come, come, yet again, come with this delight. And, you know, this is going to be about your strength. Are you willing to say to this person what is indicated in this card? And this is card 59. There are only 60 cards in the deck. All right, here. Come, come, yet again, come. They like it when I hold it up so you can see the image. I'm going to do that. All right. It does not matter what state you are in. It does not matter who comes. The master is always ready. So this is about you finding some mastery of compassion here, so you are always ready, my Aquarians. There is a beautiful statement of Rumi, one of the greatest Sufi masters ever. Take it to your heart. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of learning. It does not matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, come, yet again come. You know, they want me to read the rest of it. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done that in these readings because it's not that much left here. The master is a host. True masters never refuse anybody. They cannot. If you go under a tree, a shady tree, tired of your journey and the burning sun on your head, and the tree refuses you, it does not give you refuge. It does not shelter you. It does not happen. Right? The tree is not personal. The tree is not like, not with that eyeliner, you're not. Girl, look at that weave. No. The tree gives shelter, as does the master. The tree is always ready to give you shelter. Its shadow, its fruits, its flowers, its fragrance. The giving tree, sorry. Childhood flashback. If I say to someone, first go and become worthy of sanayas, that's upliftment's activation, then come to me. It is as if you go to a physician and he says, my condition for giving you medicine is that I will give it to you only when you are healthy. I never waste my medicines on ill people. It does not matter who comes. The master is ready. So there's an unconditional love here, an unconditional compassion. It doesn't mean you got to sleep with them. It doesn't mean that you have to do anything other than just say, it's okay. Particularly if you know they're struggling, if you know they're going through something, if they have a tendency to lie and manipulate, that comes from such deep soul pain that you can't heal them of that. That's not what twin flames do. But twin flames, if that's what's triggering you, if you've been lied to, if you've been manipulated, who the fuck hasn't? This, again, feels romantic sexual to an extent. The last 3 cards, Whispers of Love, might clarify that even further. Then there really is something here about being open-hearted and saying, no, I'm ready. Whatever you got to say, I can handle this. But that's because you've done the work within yourself, right? That you're being schooled in this compassion, to be an open, compassionate heart, so that you can say, no, it's okay. You know, there's a thing, once you've been devastated so many times and you realize you lived through it, sort of the immortal part of you begins to awaken, or the ego structures, the attachments crack away because, you know, dark night of the soul, for example. You just get to this point where you're like, well, if that didn't fucking kill me, then go ahead, fucking kill me. Give me the best you got. It's like crucifixion. What could be? I learned this from Matt KAHN. He's so good. Check out his YouTube channel. Really good. Where it's like crucifixion. What could be a more vulnerable position than heart wide open, right? But to say, so instead of this, you're like, no, it's okay. You can come. You can come. And then with that card of wild abandon, we'll get there. Maybe that's a different spelling of the word come, come, yet and come. Look, I get it. There are bodily urges, right? Sexuality and all of that. If that is this need not be. But now let's look at for the twin in this relationship receiving, right? Receiving disciplehood. Now remember, I said it's discipline. It doesn't mean necessarily chips, dips, chains, whips. But again, whatever gets you through the weekend, you know, I'm all good with that. Just, you know, can't be harmed if they beg you to do it. That's a really bad joke. Not sorry. This thing of disciplehood. I mean, I can read it. I'll read the first part of it because the story of it is long. I actually read it, I believe, in the Capricorn one. If you want to fast forward to get to that part, where did you go? Disciplehood. Allow every situation in your life to teach you. Disciplehood is being about a disciple of life. So, for instance, the thief taught him that, well, it didn't come today, but maybe it will come tomorrow. So even when the guy in the center felt like hopeless. He was like, well, I've prayed, I've meditated, I've been doing this for years, still haven't had the revelation, still don't know, don't feel like I've gotten, but let me try again. So that's what he learned from that. From the dog was thirsty. The dude was, I mean, I can find the names, I can read it if you like, but I'm not gonna right now. He was drinking at this pond, at this river, and the dog came up, was very thirsty, but every time looked into the water, saw a dog and started barking and, you know, ran away, where eventually its desire to drink was so strong and it just dove in. So the dog taught him that we have to face our fears and dive in regardless sometimes to get what we need. And the child, that one I'm not remembering, so I'll do that for you. Why not? Why not? The second was a dog. Oh, yeah. And the third master was a small child carrying a candle. And the third master was a small child. I entered a town and a child was carrying a lit candle. He was going to the mosque to put the candle there. Just joking, I asked the boy, have you lit the candle yourself? He said, yes, sir. And I asked, there was a moment when the candle was unlit. Then there was a moment when the candle was lit. Can you show me the source from which the light came? Which I would have flicked out a Bic, honestly, at that moment, because I'm a smartass. And the boy laughed, blew out the candle, and said, now you have seen the light going. Where has it gone? You tell me. My ego was shattered. My whole knowledge was shattered. And that moment, I felt my own stupidity. Since then, I dropped all my knowledge ability. So if the twin here, this trickster with the listening to the Aries thing, with the card of strength with the serpent, if they can really just say, hey, this is a learning experience. I will accrue the discipline here to be the best me that I can be. What's going on back there? Oh, we got kitties playing. Particularly with the Osho Neo Tarot, we're talking about a deep, more mystical approach here. That's why I love the deck so much in divination now. But that, can they receive? Can they be a disciple to receiving what is coming to them in terms of seeing you as a teacher, in terms of seeing the past as a teacher, in terms of seeing what is in front of them, that everything is happening for them, not to them. Now, the ego doesn't like that when it doesn't get what it wants. Oh, it's happening for me as long as I get what I want. What are we like when we don't get what we want? We could be fucking nightmares. But on the other side of this, to say, okay, it's all happening for my growth, my development. So, of course, the things that happen that I hate, that hurt, the pain, the suffering, the torture of a twin flame process, this is all happening for my betterment. It's teaching me something. That's why I love the idea of the crucible, yet in Arthur Miller's witch hunt, Salem play. But what we're talking about here is that which holds something in place in a furnace for its transformation. Yeah, rough going. I really, really do think that neither one of you have a fun time of what's going on here in this line, but worth it. So let's do this last one here, and then we'll lay down your whispers of love. This card of imitation, I remember this card very well, because there was a time when I was imitating spiritual teachers. I even picked up a nervous tick of one of them once. I mean, I'm an empath. I can pick up stuff. But there's nothing like being authentic and doing it your own way and with wild abandon. So let's look at this one, number 16. Oh, opened right to it. Sure, you can see it right there. It says the word imitation. Okay. Have a look to see if you are imitating others. With imitation, the seed of authenticity within you remains dead. Take the sword of awareness and cut this imitation completely. No matter how painful it seems to be, the suffering has to go deep, but through the shock yourself, your own authenticity emerges. So essentially there is this, I believe it's Buddhist, the Zen master made practice of raising his finger whenever he explained a question about Zen. And one of his students began doing the same thing. And you can see the bloody knife by the master's thigh there. He's like, stop that, stop imitating. And by the way, if I recall correctly, after the lesson is learned, the finger is, let's say magically, let's say mystically rejoined. So with wild abandon, to wildly abandon the imitation, to be authentic, to stop pretending. Trickster, duplicity, right? Damsel, be very, very clear about what your intentions are in terms of truth. You both have some truth issues here. You've got that really, really strong connection there with that angel card of universal truth with your intention. What do I want? I want truth. Why? Because I want to go deeper into this path. I want to heal. I want to learn. I want to grow. And I want to do what I'm supposed to do for myself in this relationship so that maybe this relationship can become more balanced, more healthy, right? That's Six of Cups. Yeah. Let me not do the whole spread yet because we still got the whispers of love. The best part, it really is. Remember my grandmother, my mother's mother, Margie. Bless her soul. She's my angel to this day. We always had that. You know, she used to read tarot. She worked in the first health food store in Florida, Deerfield Beach, if I remember correctly. I was a wee lad at the time. But she would say, if dinner wasn't so great, she's like, don't worry, there's good dessert. Like, you still will hear my mom say that. It's like, we've got good dessert. So these are the good dessert. I love these cards. So please, I love this part too. Please, I love working with the collective. Please, my collective pantheon of angels, gods, and masters, a whisper of love for the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and twin flame relationships for September 2019. We've got a damsel here with universal truth intentions, with compassion in school, right? The schooling of compassion, with a delight in come, yet again, come, being receptive, you know, welcoming, opening the heart, opening, giving compassion, please. A whisper of love, a piece of your combined angelic, godly, and masterful grace. Like attracts like, right? So as you're giving this compassion to yourself and being open-armed, that same is given to you. Hence, we've got this receptivity, right? We've got this receptivity here, and here you are, come, yet again, come. Do you see that? Like attracts like. The more that you open up, the more things open up. Like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving, and I would just put the word and compassionate in there, since that's such a strong note in your musical line here, your top line. My pantheon of angels, gods, and masters, please, same thing, but for the twin in this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame relationship for September 2019. We got a trickster here with listening to Aries, or listening like an Aries, very single-pointed, but very fiery. Maybe not hearing things as the whole story, but just the beginning part of it, what it indicates. With this card of the serpent with strength, that perhaps there's a strong kundalini thing going on here, a strong sexual energy, a strong kundalini spinal thing going on, very, very powerful, that's giving them great strength, and they need to call upon a strength beyond this world to be honorable, to balance that with that disciplehood in receiving, that they're willing to receive the lesson, the teaching, the learning. Please, a whisper of love for this trickster twin in this Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame relationship for September 2019. Get to know each other. There needs to be some conversations here. There needs to be an honest, open exchange of information. Learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. So here we go, learning. They are receiving, to seeing everything as a teacher. That even if the two of you aren't forever and ever and ever together, because forever is not enough, you need fucking and ever and ever, that if they are receiving, they're open to receiving the disciplehood of this, that they are willing to learn. Now, you can't guarantee that the trickster is going to want to do that. Even if they do, there's probably always going to be the thing of like, maybe they're just trying to get in my pants again. It's very possible. You know, it's hard to tell with a trickster. But if you really go in there with compassion, remember, you get to say no. If it feels wrong in your gut, darling, say no. Well, you're Aquarians. You're good at that. You're the friends of the zodiac. Let's just be friends. How can we be lovers if we can't be friends? Don't. Oh my God. Is that Michael Bolton? Crap, where did that come from? It's not even my genre. My genre is more like I hate myself for loving you. Can't get free from the things that you do. Oh, Goddess Joan of the Jets. Met her too. Also, teeny tiny like Marianne Williamson. Powerhouse. All right. My collective pantheons of angels, gods, and masters, please. Last card of the reading. Please, a piece of your angelic, godly, and masterful grace for this collective Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame relationship. The relationship itself, please. A whisper of love for September 2019. The heart of the matter. Because it's time to get down to the heart of the matter. Because my will gets weak. My will gets weak. My thoughts, they will scatter, but I think it's about forgiveness. Forgiveness. Even if you don't, I can't hit that note right, so I'll go the love me anymore. Yeah, you know, that's the compassionate part of this. It's saying, let's get down to the heart of the matter. There is more going on than meets the eye. Recognize what this is all about. Yeah, this is a divine contract. Well, I mean, that's the point of a twin flame relationship. Wouldn't it be odd to do a twin flame relationship and say, no, the gods aren't doing anything with this. This is just your own psychosis and neurosis. That's not how I read. Probably other readers do that, though. That to get down to the heart of the matter, particularly with that, you know, you two might very, very, very much be love each other. Is so in love with each other, right? Revealing hidden love with the burnout, and maybe something that this burns away to show that there's true love here. You know, and I've said it before in other readings. Twin flame relationships, like I said, pre-incarnational contracts teaching you how to love yourself. And I think it's a valid question to ask, and I don't really know the answer because I'm not there yet in my own path. Is it possible for a twin flame relationship to alchemize into a soulmate or possibly a true lover situation? With the way the energies are downloading, we're getting hit with these fifth dimensional unity consciousness, love and light codes. I know it sounds so hippy dippy, but it's fucking hard, man. Squeezing out of us our emotional baggage in the collective, and our cell tissue, our ancestral patterns, all that stuff. That there is absolutely a larger thing. This is a twin flame relationship on the path of true love. Both of you can benefit so much if you'll both just get with the program. One may, the other may not. Who knows? That's the variety of the collective, but the theme is there. So just to recap here, your first line, my Aquarians, you've got the damsel here, really about these romantic illusions in the shadow and the light of being able to rely on yourself to give yourself what you need, the love, the acceptance, the approval that you need. And your intention to get a universal truth makes sense with this heart of the matter and with the duplicity of the trickster, that really your intention is to get the truth, to know what's really going on, but don't look for reason, look for purpose. Reason is a human thing, purpose is divine. What is the divine purpose of this? As we said, the pattern of the twin flame relationship. Again, we'll go watch the Clarifying Twin Flame Soulmates and True Lovers relationship. That we've got a schooling of compassion. You're in a school of compassion. Class is in session, and you are learning about compassion for yourself and the others, which allows you to live in this delight of welcomeness, of being a master who is always ready, who always is open and welcoming whoever comes in. Because with that whisper of love, like attracts like, that's how you move on or move through this relationship. And I don't think there's any moving on unless you move through in this one. Just the nature of it with that heart of the matter at the end. For our second line with the trickster here. Look, tricksters, I get it. You can be so much fun. Kind of, I mean, there are other bad boys in the zodiac, but in terms of the archetype, the trickster archetype can be so much fun, but such a bad boy, right? Transcending convention and predictable behavior, that they're kind of fun and spontaneous and exciting. And, you know, I will say, Aquarians, you're sort of the freaks of the zodiac. You do like the new and the revolutionary. You're sort of the rebels, although fixed air in it. That they're listening to that Aries, or there's something about the way that they're listening, that there's something perhaps even warrior, cardinal fire, initiatory, that this wouldn't surprise me if this was the divine masculine regardless of gender, that they're listening to that old kind of like guard and defense and protect and very strategic in that sense, which makes sense that Athena is the overwatching goddess for this one, considering the Daughters of the Moon Tarot there of strength. The only major arcana card of the three out here, but with that card of the serpent, something hidden being revealed, but in the sense of an energy moving through, something new, a skin being shed to reveal rebirth, Kundalini activation, and perhaps even high voltage sexual energy that's been kept under wraps. Leading them, or that they're, if they can be in this place of being receiving to the disciplehood that everything has been teaching them, everything has been for their soul to help them grow, learn, evolve, and become the best they can be and fulfill their role in the divine plan, right? Then that process of getting to know each other, that is the means of action. That conversation, not just getting to know where your spots are on your body, although take your time to find them. I'm self-employed, I can take a break. But that get to know each other, that there's some real intimacy there, and of course some vulnerability, which listening to the Aries might not be so much into. Very interesting second line for the twin. But overall, I got to say this hedonist, considering I have the hedonist lifelong, right? That there's something about celebrating the beauty in yourself and inspiring creative energy, almost like the muse, to embrace the good things in life. But also it feels like you've pursued pleasurement to the detriment of your health, and maybe indulgences at the expense of each other in this. Hence the forgiveness of universal spirituality, that we've all done that. You know, pleasure is a very powerful thing. Beauty is a very powerful thing, but like any power, it can be used or abused. The opposite of abuse is right use, but unfortunately that became the word righteousness, and it sort of twists us a little bit. Righteous behavior. Oh, bite my shiny mystic ass, no thanks. But to really tune into that there's a universal spirituality theme of forgiveness here, of breaking chains of illusion, because of that card of burnout, that there is something transformed in the crucible here, and I feel like it's going to happen very fast. That 8 of Wands, 8 of Flames vibration, where your love is revealed either amongst the two of you or to the world at large. If you've been sneaking around on this, and look, I don't judge behavior. People talk about how horrible infidelity is, but when you're in a dead-end relationship and there's no way out, and the gods send you somebody, even if it is a twin flame, it's happening for your good. But staying past the expiration date of a relationship is codependent, is about being attached and addictive, some thing in the mind. So even if you are, here we go, trying to imitate with wild abandon, you gotta let that go. We are in new patterns. So maybe this relationship does not fit the traditional model, hence the not wanting to have your love revealed here, that you're trying to imitate what is normal. Well, I gotta tell you, normal's changing damn fast if you haven't noticed. Please, the toxicity that has become normal, let alone the normalization of, right, this unique unity consciousness vibration that we are downloading, fifth dimensional awareness, which is really at the heart of the matter here. There is more going on than meets the eye. Recognize what this is all about. Don Henley, got it. Wow, really, really powerful read, Aquarian, and one really that could serve the collective. That as you really balance this for yourself, that like attracts like, and it either draws out of the twin, this trickster twin, similar compassion, right? A desire, an openness and vulnerability to get to know each other, or not. But either way, if you really stick with your intention of universal truth, you will get to the heart of the matter here. Your love may perhaps be revealed to yourself, but maybe that love is the divine love revealed within each of you individually as well. Thank you very much. That's a really good point there, my goddess. Well, good luck with this, my Aquarians, my water bearers. I wish you the very, very best and the very, very blessed of this twin flame relationship for the month of September. Please like and subscribe if anything really clicked for you. I'm trying to get my numbers up so more people can access this stuff. And of course, if you need a reading, reach out. I'm taking a couple of days off from my birthday, but I'm taking my laptop with me because I'm a Virgo. I go where I'm needed. Oh, and at 7 o'clock, my kitties are gathering. They have a better sense of time than I do. So for now, again, the best of luck. Please reach out, connect, like and subscribe and share. But for now, my sweethearts, may the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and twin flame relationships be blessed with all that they need to learn, to heal, to grow, to be the best that they can be, and to fulfill their role in the divine plan through these twin flame relationships for the well-being of all. Thank you. So mote it be. And to you, my beloved Aquarians, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed, blessed be.